Complex. Complex. Complex.
Hearing all this, that, and this, and that. Tell the truth, nigga. Whack. Your top 10 is anonymous. Your top 10 is anonymous.
Complex.
Your top 10 is anonymous.
What's poppin', pimp? This is your boy AJ Dubs here to motivate, inspire, and dedicate my services to helping you focus on your legacy. Today's O&L story, the have and the have not. I'll say that again, the have and the have not. You got two types of kids that can grow up in this world, right? You got your silver kid and you got your dirt track kid. Now, the silver kid, grows up in a nice home, has all the resources, mother and father in the home, taught about maybe financial literacy or how to help himself, all those things, right? Taught with values. Then you have the dirt track kid, the kid who comes from the mud, the one who already didn't have the resources that the silver kid had, but was raised in a good home too, right? So let's put this together. You have two kids from two sides of the track, but grew up the same way. The silver kid has an older brother and a younger brother. The dirt track kid has an older sister and a younger sister. Both of these kids are the middle child, which means most of the time the middle child had to work for everything. While the first and the last child usually have it a lot easier. But they both realize that they both come from the same thing. Both of them had to work their way out of those households to get where they wanted to be. Now, I know what you're thinking. The silver kid had everything given to him, but you wouldn't understand it that there are some silver kids out there who have parents who force those children to go off on their own to do their own work. Even though they were given a good life, they was not given their livelihood. There's a difference. So, both of these kids being middle kids realized that they were both the same child. Okay, the silver kid, even though he grew up in a nice home, he still had the same problems as the dirt kid. The silver kid had his younger brother was the spoiled one. Had everything given to him, just like the dirt kid's younger sister who had everything given to them. Spoiled as can be. The older one was more the leader who was more on his own, but still had a lot of support too compared to that middle child too. Same thing with the older sister. But where these two link up is that they both had to work for everything that they got. One of them became a successful lawyer. The other one, the silver kid, became a successful executive. Just because of the work ethic they both connected on of having to work their way out of that family to create a livelihood for themselves. The funny thing about it is both of them had the same problems growing up. The silver kid had the same kind of problems, like I said, the dirt kid had. The silver kid had a brother who had a baby mama who lived in the same house with the parents, which was a big old mansion now. Knowing he could have went off and got his own, but he didn't. Now, the dirt kid had a sister who became a baby mama too. And she lived in the same house as her mother and her father. They both got the same problems. Don't you see? It's the same thing, just different environment. But the point is this. When you share a common ground of work ethic and values, it don't matter where you come from. It's where you're going. There's no difference. Anyway, if you have any struggles, problems, any questions, something you need help with, please email me at originsxlegacies@gmail.com. That is Origins with the ZX, Legacies with the IEZ on the end at gmail.com. I like to read some of your stories so I can actually help you find the steps on how to go into the right direction of finding your legacy. But until then, keep it pimpin'.
Another million buried, that's thanks to my accountants. Hello world, I would like you to meet our worst nightmare on any Black Wall Street. I mastered the paper.